What up? Hey, hey, how y'all doing? What up? I wasn't gonna come on today, but Daddy told me to come on and give you part 2 of 2024. He gave me these words Sunday night and yesterday. And then he gave me a word about Isreal. Hold on. Give people a chance to come in while I look up something. Hold on. How's everybody? All right, time to take the shades off. With my glasses. And he gave me Isaiah 10 also for the word for Israel. So I'm going to give you the Israel word first. I remember that verbatim. And then I'm going to give you the Psalms he gave me. And you can read it for yourself. Because it's kind of long. Like I'll read a little bit of it. Right? All right. Hey, what's up everybody? How y'all doing? Give me some likes. Give me some likes. So, the video could go up. Give me some likes. What's this plastic? I don't know why they put these on clothes. I can't stand these things. How many of y'all don't like these things? Okay. Hold on. All right. This is the word. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing? Thank you, Teresa. Bless you sevenfold, sevenfold. And may you have a miracle in the next 7 to 10 days. Okay, hi. How's everybody doing? Hi, Master P. Hi, Missy Bona. Hi, Just the Voice. Hi, my brother, King Devante. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Lachelle. Hi, Queen Rose. Hi, Big AG. Pauline. Ms. Anointed, Sandra, love y'all, T.A. McCollum. Hey, Jocelyn. Hi, Nina. Hi, Faith Walker. Hi, Miss Washington. Hi, Miss Tyho. Hi to everybody. What's up, Jadica? How you doing, Sister Jadica? Hi, Dayu. Hi, Tracy. Grand Rising. Okay, this is what I wanted to tell. The Lord said about Israel and Hamas and Gaza. He said Israel will never be the same again after this terrorist attack. He said it has changed the face of Israel, and it has also opened doors for Israel to be attacked by Iran and other nations. But is Iran and other nations going to take advantage of this? Not now. I don't think so. I mean, they could, but I don't think so. But the Lord said that the fabric of Israel, which we know is the borderline of Africa, will never be the same again. Never be the same again. That's what he told me. And he said the people over there in Hamas, the Gaza, their life ain't never going to be the same neither. He kept telling me that liberty and freedoms were going to be taken away from some Jewish people over there in the Hamas and Gaza. Yes, they will rebuild all those buildings that blew up and stuff like that. They will rebuild, but the face of Israel will never be the same again. The people will never be the same again. The people over in Gaza, they already were struggling because Israel, the war is about more so land. because Israel was like kind of bullying them, taking their lands from them. They were just taking them, just coming over there, just taking them. And the Gaza people were living in so much poverty, you know. And then when I went to Israel, we went to the borderline of Pakistan and Israel. We learned from the Pakistanians and the Iranians that a lot of times they go without water. Like they got these big old tubs on top of their roof, you know, and a lot of time Israel doesn't supply them with water. Those Pakistani people were suffering a lot by the hands of Israel. And so were the Armenians. And these Gazini, I call them Gazanians, they have been suffering tremendously by the hands of Israel. Now, does innocent people in Israel and Gaza deserve to die because of this? No. And it's over 1,600 people from both sides that have passed, and I think about 11 and 15 Americans. See, that's why you need to pray before you travel anywhere. Majority of those Americans that are over there right now, I bet you they didn't pray. Cory Booker from Jersey. I know Cory Booker. I remember when he was running for mayor. I even, offered to volunteer for him and he accepted me. But God told me not to do it because he said Cory Booker had a greater purpose that was not of him. And now he's a senator. And he over there. And now they didn't close the airport so nobody could come home. And like 11 to 15 Americans have been killed. That's why you have to pray before you go to these foreign lands. You have to pray before you go anywhere in America. Because times it's not like it used to be. You just can't get up and go nowhere. You got to pray. You got to ask God, God, can I go home? God, can I go to Hawaii? Can I go here? Can I go here? Am I going to, is it time to go? Is it season? Like I was supposed to go to Africa this year. I told y'all that. It was all set in motion almost. I'd have been stepping my foot on the mama land. And I wasn't going to tell nobody till I got there and then let people know I'm there. So in case some of my African followers, was in the area where I was going to be for a week, they could come and meet me and stuff. But God said, delay it, change it another time. So I'm like, all right, so that maybe next year or the year after I'll be coming to Africa, but I'll definitely be coming next year or the year after. And then I can meet my African friends that live in the area where I'm going to be. Because I got a lot of African buddies over there. And they always inviting me over there too. It's like, my pastor wants to meet you. Right? So I will be on there. My feet will touch the ground of Africa next year or the year before. I mean the year after. But anyway, so Israel basically has been putting a chokehold around Gaza, stealing their land. They live in impoverished. So they enacted this terror attack. And they're saying Netanyahu knew about the terror attack, but he didn't tell anybody because it gives him an excuse to go over to the Gaza area and just blast the crap out of them. So Netanyahu, y'all know he's very vengeful. So when he does get boots on the ground over there, pray for them people over there in the Gaza. Pray for them because he's going to obliterate them. He's going to make it where they can't come back from this for a long time. So you need to pray for those people that he's about to go after. The terror attack they did, no one will condone such a thing because 1,600 people, both sides, are gone, perished. 11 to 15 Americans gone. One man lost his son-in-law and daughter-in-law. I saw a video on Instagram where these Jewish people was in the desert lands at a festival. And these terrorists, Hamas people, Gaza people, militants took the female but didn't take the male. And so the male was going to fight to get his fiance back, but these other people kept holding him back and he couldn't go for his woman. And she crying, he crying, so they took off with her. And he was so distraught from losing his fiance. They tried to get him to leave the desert area where the festival was. He wouldn't leave, and now he missing. He wouldn't leave because he thought maybe, they would bring his fiance back. But they say he missing now, presumed dead. Do you know how heart-wrenching that was to see, guys? You should have saw her. She was on this motorcycle or something, and it was one of the militants in the front, one in the back, and then it was some around her with guns, and she had her hands out like this to her fiance, and she was just crying to him, help me, and he was trying his best to get to, but these people at the festival was holding him back. He winded up probably dying anyway, so let him go to save his woman, and if he perished, he perished. At least he would perish doing what he was trying to do. But they wouldn't let him go. They was holding him back, right? And he wound up missing and presumed dead. Maybe he couldn't take it because he lost his fiance. Heart-wrenching. Then they show Instagram, a young man, 23 years old. I think he just graduated college. And Israel was a gift from his parents, a trip. And he did. And he was American. It was so heart-wrenching, but the one that really tugged at my heart was about the man trying to get to his fiancée and they wouldn't let him. And then they tried to get him to leave and he wouldn't leave. He stayed because he thought they would bring her back. And now he's presumed dead. Isn't that heart-wrenching, guys? I mean, the things that Israel is going through and the thing that the Gaza people are going through, it's sad. I mean, this always happened in war. Look at hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians, hundreds of thousands of their soldiers, and the Russian soldiers are dead. They showed on Instagram all these dead soldiers just everywhere. And I'm like, this is what you call the casualties of war. See, the governments are fighting each other, but it's not them fighting. It's people. It's the people of the land of the Ukrainians, the people of the land of the Russia, the people of the lands of Israel, and the people of the lands of the Hamas, of the Gazanis and people. They are the ones that's fighting, while our government is like they're the master puppets and they're pulling all the strings. And yet all these innocent people are dying. And for what? Over land that don't even belong to you. Ukraine-Russia war. Now the land don't belong to none of us. Who it belong to? Who created this earth? Although it is a stimulation, the enemy created this based off of the new earth that's coming down. When Yah got up on the Calvary and shed his blood went to the earth. It made the earth tangible. And it made the earth belong to God. So this earth belonged to God. Although it is a matrix kind of thing, virtual reality kind of life, it's still a tangible earth and God still owns it, right? So them fighting over the lands like they fighting over, they don't own the lands. Nobody owns this earth, guy, but God. Nobody owns this earth. If the Gaza people, Israel need to stop. I'm just keeping it real. Israel need to stop taking the Gaza people land from them. I mean, Israel's huge. I've been there. It's huge. And it was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So you have no need to keep going over there taking these Gazanesian people land. And they're already impoverished as it is. Why does Israel want to keep impoverishing these Gaza people? Why? And why do they want to keep stealing their land when it belongs to them? Just like the Pakistani people. That's their land. Let them have it. Let the Gaza people have the land. Israel, you got enough land. Trust me, that borderline is huge. And I've been to Israel. I've seen it with my own eyes. So has Patricia Pat. Okay, Israel is huge and it's beautiful and it has vast lands of sand. I mean, it is huge over there. So they don't need to keep taking the Gaza people land. They don't need to messing with the Pakistani. Just leave them alone. What happened to just having peace? Just letting people exist. Sometimes you just got to have peace and sometimes you just got to let people exist. You may not like them, you can't stand them, but that's okay. They stay on their side, you stay on your side. The only reason why the people, God told me, the only reason why those Gaza people attack Israel is because they're tired of them impoverishing them and they're tired of them stealing their land. They can't get nowhere in life. They can't progress because Israel keeps impoverishing them and stealing their land. and punishing them for things that happened decades ago. What happened to just having a peace treaty? Being at peace with each other. You stay on this side of the border and we stay on this side. We let you exist and you let us exist. We give you joy and peace. You give us joy and peace. What happened to that? What happened to that? Is it so bad that you got to... And this is how you know that's not the true Israel over there. Because I'm going to tell you something. Read Jeremiah 30. The fulfillment of the true Israel people has not yet happened. And if that was the true Israel of God, why they been in war ever since 1948 when the Rothschilds and what's the other one? Rothschilds, I forget the other family. And America took that land from the Turkish people, the Gaza people, the Pakistani and Armenian people, when they took it and they slapped the name Israel on it from the Bible in 1948. Why that country been in war ever since? If you read the Bible like I do, you'll learn God's people, the only time they was in war when they disobeyed God, right? Most of the time they was in peace. So if they were truly of the Lord over there, why are they constantly in battle since 1948? Why is they trying to steal all the Pakistanians and Armenians and Gaza people land? And then causing all these innocent people to perish and die for what? For what? Families being wiped out. One man, all his kids and wife was snatched by the militant people. All of this could be evaded if Israel would have just let the Gaza people, Pakistani, Armenian people be in peace and stop stealing their land and stop impoverishing them. We wouldn't even be here today. We wouldn't, even in Ukraine, if you didn't see whatever his name is, and Putin would sit down and just hash things out, talk things out, and make a treaty, hundreds of thousands of people wouldn't be dead today. You know how many fathers was lost in Ukraine and in Russia alone? You know how many widows it is in those countries right now? You know how many fatherless children? You know how many children have been trafficked because of the Ukraine war? They have children they can't even account for. They have children they can't even account for. So what has this war in Ukraine and in Russia done? Nothing. Ukraine will never be the same again. It will take decades to rebuild Ukraine. And most of the people ain't coming back there no more because they done got settled in other lands. Africans can never go there again to go to school anymore because now the racism is so thick over there. They need not even try to go to schools in Ukraine and Europe anymore. You know, so what has the Ukraine-Russian war done for anybody? Nothing but made the people behind the war pulling the strings rich, trafficking. I mean, really, and all these innocent people in Ukraine and Russia are dead. Dead. Widows. Orphans. They have made of people. Same thing going over there in Israel now. American people losing family members. Americans stuck over there. All the Israelites, homes wiped out. Families gone. Gaza, families gone. Homes gone. And when it's all said and done in the dust, it has been blown away. Who's sitting up there that benefit from it? The powers that should not be, the puppet masters. This is why people need to come to God and start getting right with the one true God. Stop worshiping all these other false gods and come to the one true God. He would stop it. He would make our land milk and honey. Read the Bible. Every time Israel obeyed him, our land was milk and honey. Every time Israel obeyed him, Israel will always defeat all these. Look at the 12 sons of Jacob. Look what just 12 sons. Look at the terror they did to so many countries and cities. Just 12 of them. God gave them some powers that's out of this world. And y'all hadn't even came yet. So all the powers that God gave them and y'all hadn't even came yet. Can you imagine the powers that God could give us now if everybody was right? I mean, if Israel was right with God, over the Jewish people over there and the Gaza people, if they was right with God, do you think they'd be fighting right now over some land? Really? And that's the problem. Man is greedy. You give them something, they want more. Our government is greedy. Israel government is greedy. All governments are greedy. The more they take, the more they want. The more they take, the more they want. And who suffers? Us, the people. Who loses their lives? The people. So Ukraine will never be the same neither. It'll take decades to rebuild that. Israel will never be the same. And they may rebuild, but they'll never be the same again. They can never live the way they live again. And I'm going to tell you something about Israel. That Netanyahu, he ain't nothing to be played with. We know he dirty too, but he ain't nothing to be played with. So if Gaza got in there, Hamas got in Israel and did that damage, it's because he let them do it. Israel over there, that country over there is a fortress. Let me tell you something. When we was on our way back to the airport on the bus, I never mentioned this to y'all. They stopped us. They stopped everybody. And they sent officers on the bus, Israeli police, and they took all of our passports. And we had to sit there for 30 minutes while they sift through all our passports to make sure we weren't terrorists trying to sneak out. And they do even worse when you come in. You got to stand in line and all this craziness for them to stamp your passport. Then they give you a little card that you better carry with you everywhere you go. Because if you do, right? But when you leave, man, we sat on that bus for 30 minutes. And then they brought back everybody's passport except for mine. They said they had to do extra study with mine. I said, that ain't nothing but the doggone devil trying to prevent me from leaving, trying to prevent me from coming. Now trying to get them to arrest me. They said they had to do, Pat will tell you, just sit right next to me. They said they had to do extra study with my passport. The first time I ever used my passport well, no. I had passport when I lived in Germany for 3 years and I traveled to other places while my husband was alive. I've seen quite a few places. But I'm saying since my husband died, that was the first time I went abroad anywhere. And with that passport. So what extraness do you got to do? So then after 10 minutes, they brought me my passport and then we was able to leave. So I'm going to tell you something about Israel. They are very stringent. If those people was able to get in there and attack them, it's because Netanyahu let them. I'm going to tell you the truth. It's because he let them. It is no way those Gaza people would have gotten in there otherwise. I'm going to tell you that. And he let them in, God says, so he can go and pounce on them. Try and finish them. But he ain't going to be able to finish them. You watch the next week. From now to next week, see what Netanyahu do. You know, they're going to be swapping people. Like the Gaza people going to be swapping some Israelites for some of the people that Israel got. But you watch Netanyahu from now to next week. Watch him. He's a very smart man and he's stringent. And Israel, he keeps it like a fortress. So if anybody got in there to do the damage that they did, it's because he allowed it. And his excuse will be because of the political things he's going through. And he didn't think nobody would help him. And you better hope that our soldiers don't have to be boots on the ground over there. Pray our soldiers don't have to be boots on the ground. Israel, let me tell you something about Israel. Israel is the #1 country in this world that has the best military police training. Do you know they send our military people over there to get training? Do you know they pay for Israeli soldiers to come here to America to train our police, our FBI, our state troopers, our military soldiers? Google it. Google got all the answers. Did you know that? So you are trying to tell me that Netanyahu didn't know that this was going to happen? They said he did. And his excuse is going to be because of his political problems and he didn't want to reach out because he didn't think nobody would help him. Let me tell you something. You can Google this too. I don't know. I don't know if it's still in Google or not, but it was a year or two ago. Do you know who really owns Jerusalem? The city of Jerusalem and other parts of Israel? The two families in power that should not be? We know who those are. They own Jerusalem. Why you think America is best friends with Israel? Why you think America always running to help them? Because the powers that should not be, the two families, own Jerusalem and other parts of Israel. I read Hitler's book. I lost it in 2014, but I paid $20 for it from a Russian man in Russia. It was this book. I forget the name of it. Where you can go and find old books, and sometimes they're abroad, and you pay $20 and you pay the shipping. So I think the book with the shipping was like $60. And in the book, Hitler proved that the black people were God's jewels. He said America and Israel was in cahoots and stole God's black jewels. He said America has more of God's black jewels than any country on the planet. In Hitler's book. And I so regret losing that book. He spoke about the Indians. He spoke about the black Indians, it had pictures of black Chinese people, black Asian people. He spoke the truth. Now look, I ain't taking up for Hitler because he was a monster. And they say after he exterminated the Jewish people, he was coming for the black people. No, he wasn't. He wasn't coming for us because he said in his own writing that we were God's jewels. He knew better than to mess with us. He knew better. And he said because America and Israel stole Father's jewels, he said God will steal their lives. He said God will steal their humanity. He said God will eventually steal their wealth. And he said God will expose the truth of who his true jewels are. So you see why Israel been in war since 1948. You see why America going through what they going through. Because the time has come for God's vengeance for his jewels. He's taking down continents. He's taking down nations. He's taking down governments before our very eyes because of his jewels that they have mistreated and enslaved. You ain't seen nothing yet for Israel and America and other countries that was behind the stealing of God's jewels. You ain't seen nothing yet. You think the God in the Bible was terrible? You ain't seen nothing yet. But those of us who are truly of the Lord, we are protected. And the ones to come, we are protected. So it don't matter if you live in these nations that God is striking. You wait till next year. You're going to see more disasters than you have in the past 4 years next year in 2024 in these different nations. You're going to see people crying out more than you have in the past 10 years after God get through doing what he's going to be doing next year. And before this year is out, it's going to be a great quake somewhere before this year is out. And that's a judgment from him. Before December 31st comes, there's going to be a quake somewhere. And you're going to know that place is under judgment. Daddy ain't playing. Y'all need to read the book of Ezekiel. Although the enemy is trying to bring times to pass, he's trying to bring the book of Revelation, the book of Daniel to pass before his time. And God said it was going to seem like he was getting away with it, but in the end, God was going to stop him. He's trying to force God's hand. He's trying to force God's hand. But the reason why the enemy is doing this is so he can survive longer himself. The enemy, Yahuwah, has a plan. Why he doing this is to make so he can survive longer. It says he knows his time. Doesn't the Bible say Yahuwah knows how much time he has? See, we don't know the timing of Yah coming. No one in the heaven does. Yahuwah don't know neither, but Yahuwah knows his time. So let's say Yahuwah got 100 years left. He like, all right, I got 100 years left. I want to extend that to 300 years. So let me do this. Let me try and force this. And then another thing. If Yadaboth can get you to believe that we are in rapture times, as people call it, but it's really called the gathering. If Yadaboth can get people on this earth to believe we are actually in rapture time, that we are actually in the last 7 seals when there's actually 14 seals, and God said we're in the mystery seal, which is I think the 8th seal, right? This is why things are happening subtly. This is why things are coming that we never seen before. This is why things are coming that we're not expecting, because we're in that mystery seal, which is number 8. Right? So we still have 6 more to go, right? So if Yadaboth can get people to believe we're in end times, which is what many people believe and are saying, do you know it could bring the end times to pass? Do you know it could try to force God's hand to send y'all back a 3rd time? When God told me that, I was like, Daddy, this hit the nozzle. I said this hit the nozzle because people don't understand. We have power. We are energy beings. We are etheric beings. Whatever comes out of our mouth comes to pass. Whatever we believe comes to pass, because God did not open his mouth when he created most things. Some things he did, some things he didn't. Right? He just thought it and it happened. So if everybody thinking we're in end days, everybody thinking we're in the book of Daniel, everybody thinking we're in the book of Revelation and we're in raptures, guess what? The rapture will happen before it's time. God will have no choice if he chooses to allow the rapture to happen. He has a choice. Like it says in the book of Numbers, he is the only one who can void out his word. So if it comes to the point where his hand has to be forced to bring the rapture, do you know he can speak a word and retract that so the rapture won't happen? This is what Yahuwah is trying to do. And you know why he's trying to get people to bring the rapture to pass? Because the blue beam rapture needs to happen. I write about it in one of my books on Barnes & Noble. It's called The Truth About the Blue Beam Rapture, something like that, right? So if he could get people to believe we're in rapture time, then he can bring his chariots that look like God's chariots and suck people up. People are so ready to go right now. So many Christians are so ready to go. They don't even care about going out there saving souls. They don't care about preaching. They just want to go. And the majority of them will wind up in the abyss if the time came, right? So if people can believe and bring this rapture situation to pass, then Yahweh can bring his rapture and suck up all these people and alter mankind's future. So y'all need to be praying that man stop believing we in rapture time, because we're not. We got like 6 other seals left. We're nowhere near rapture. And if you read the Bible, you'll see that. Even read the book of Revelations and Daniel, you'll see we're nowhere near the rapture. It's just things that's happening in those books because the enemy is bringing it to pass, and and people are helping him by believing in what's coming that's not supposed to come, so he can bring his rapture. Yadaboth is very clever. That's all I can say. He got some of mama's gifts in him, so I won't put nothing past him. You know what I mean? The dome wasn't working. What are you talking about? What dome? It's a dome over the earth. What do you mean that's not working? That's working. So the Lord gave me Isaiah 10. I'm going to read some of it. It says, woe unto them, for Israel. Woe unto them that decree unrighteousness, decree and write the grievance which they have prescribed. Didn't I just tell you what Israel is doing to the people? To turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. Isn't that what Israel did to Gaza, Pakistan, and the Amaraman people? And what will ye do in the day of visitation, and in the desolations which shall come from afar, which comes from far? To whom will ye flee for help, and where will ye leave your glory? Without me, they shall bow down under the prisoners, and they shall fall under the slain. For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. O Assyrians, The rod of my anger and the staff in their hand is my indignation. I will send him against a hypocritical nation and against the people of my wrath. Will I give him a charge to take the spoils and to take the prey and to tread them down like the mere of the street? Isn't that what's happening in Israel right now? How about he meaneth not so, neither doeth his heart think so, but it is his heart to destroy and cut off nations, not few. Isn't that what Netanyahu been doing? He says, for he saith, are not my princes altogether kings? Is not Kado and the Kermish? Is not the Hamath as the Arpads? Is not Samaria and Damascus? As my hand have found the kingdom of idols, and whose graven images did excel them of Jerusalem? Shall I not, as I have done unto Samaria and her idols, so do to Jerusalem and her idols? Y'all better read Isaiah 10. This is happening right now to Israel. It is judgment. See, Netanyahu think he's slick. He knew they was going to come for them. He allowed it so he can go over there and obliviate them. But guess what? Israel going to mess around and get obliterated. If they're not careful and watch their steps, God is defending these Pakistani people, Amorites and Ghazian people. Although they bow down to other gods, some of them are still Christians. And how many of you know, even if you bow down to other gods, God does not like indifferences. God does not like people being punished for no reason, because they want to live. Because they want to live. The Lord said, wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Lord hath performed his whole work upon Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, I will punish the fruit of their stout and the heart of their king. Who's their king? Netanyahu. Go and read the rest of it, because it has 34 chapters. The Lord, and the last one says, and he shall cut down the thickest of the forest with iron, and Lebanon shall fall by a mighty one. Told you he's going to be visiting Lebanon too. You think they already toe up? You ain't seen nothing yet. God is getting his countries back. He loves Lebanon. He loves well, that's not the real Jerusalem, but he loves those people in Israel. He loves the people in Pakistan and the Amorites and the Gaza people. Although, a lot of them bow down to other gods, and stuff like that. He still loves them. If they were to call out to him and accept him, they would be grafted in on the tree. You know what I mean? But read Jeremiah 30. The fullness of the Israelites have not happened yet. Because those are not the true Israelites. Those are not the people who was chosen and who was on this earth first. And everybody knows it. You should see the comments all over the internet. How people say, oh, they ain't the Israelites. People are waking up. But guess what? If they want to accept God, any Jewish person over there in the world, it doesn't matter, any is Muslim, anybody that wants to accept God, they become Israelites. They're grafted in on the tree of life, like it says in Romans 8. But until then, they are under Romans 1, which is condemnation, right? So if you read Isaiah 10, you will be shocked that everything he's saying in here is happening right now in Israel. This is how you know it's God. Although Netanyahu knew this was coming, because they said he did, he allowed it. It was God that made those gods of people rise up. And the plans that Netanyahu have, he may tear up over there. He may obliviate them a lot. But guess what? Everything he do to them, he's going to get it back. And his people are going to suffer. Because everything he has done to them, they're doing it to him right now. But his people are suffering. He lost a lot of people. We ourselves lost people. And if our boots go over there, we could lose some American soldiers. You know what I mean? So we need to be praying that Netanyahu and his government start to be fair to the Pakistanians, the Amarians, the Gaza people, Hamas people. He needs to start being fair and let them keep their land and stop impoverishing them and be happy and stop being greedy and be thankful for the land he got. Because look at it now. It's obliterated. Made no sense. He could have evaded all of this, God said, if he would have just let them people be. But he couldn't do that because he's too doggone greedy. That's how our governments are. And it's pride. God said Netanyahu got a lot of pride and he got a big ego. That's going to cost him. Man, let me tell you something. God has given me many scriptures to go with many situations. But I'm going to tell you something. This Isaiah 10 blew me away. Blew me away. I'm like, whoa, this is exactly what Israel's going through right now. This judgment from God. Y'all keep thinking that they God's chosen people. He's showing you they not. And they need to get their act together. So pray that the Jewish people over there in Israel, which is the borderline of Africa, get their act together and repent and do right by them people and let them have their land. Let them live. And if they want to bow down to Islamic gods, that's between them and our God. Let God deal with that. Let God deal with that. You know? Let God deal with that. Who are we to stomp on people's land and impoverish them and kill them over some land? It made no sense. I'm sorry, Palestinian, not Pakistani. I'm sorry. Forever 55, thank you for correcting me. Palestinians, not Pakistanis. Two different people. Thank you, sweetie. That's right. Let God be God. Let God be God. Right? But you're going to be shocked when you read Isaiah 10. All right. So here's Grand Rising. Okay. So pray for the Jewish people in Israel and pray for the Palestinians and the Amorites, because I met a lot of Amorites over there too. See, we don't hear about the Amorian people too much, but they're there, right? And pray for any other nationality that's mixed up in this, and pray for American people that's over there, that they can get home safely, and pray that our American men don't have and women don't have to go over there, but if they do, cover them in the blood. Let all of them come back the way they went. None come back in body bags. You know what I mean? And pray that innocent people stop being killed over there in Israel and these other countries. You know what I mean? In Yeshua's name. And pray that Netanyahu's pride and ego and whatever else he's going through, God can tame his butt in Yeshua's name. So I'm going to say his initials, because people don't like when you say chop, 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 chop. But the Lord said, and I done told y'all this over the past couple of years. I even had a vision where a couple of visions where they tried to take his life. So the Lord said, pray for TJD and his family. They want to take him out. And if they can, they will also get his family members one by one. So yeah, so they already seeing everything that they trying to do to him is making the people love him more. And I told you all that last year, that God said everything they try to do to him is going to make people love him more. Even black people love him now, which is shocking, right? They call him Uncle Trump. I'm like, where'd they get that from? Right? So, in this court thing, I already told you nothing wasn't going to happen to him. I already told you he wasn't going to go to jail. And eventually it's going to be all swept under the rug. I told y'all God said the stuff down here in Georgia wasn't going to even work. And we're seeing it, right? So it's basically nothing they can do to turn people against him. It's just going to make people love him more. So they're going to get to the point where they're going to try and take him out. And I even seen him dead, y'all. And I seen all these people, liberal people and Christians, just crying for him. But see, what you need to understand is, just because I saw Joe Biden dead 3 times too. Just like I seen John McCain die, he did die, right? And they did have him in the White House, just how I saw him. I saw Biden the same way, right? So eventually Biden gonna go somewhere. If it's not before 2024 is out, it could be after, but he gonna go somewhere, because I done seen him 3 times. And when God show me things 3 times, it happens, right? So, and I seen Trump dead once, but the other times that I saw, they were attempting on his life. Like I saw his plane. I told y'all that plane that they fly on, that blew up in the sky. Whether Trump was on it or not, I don't know, right? So it's going to get to the point where they say there's nothing that they could do to sway people from him, so they're going to try and kill him. Because if he gets in office, like I saw him getting in office too. So you got to understand, me seeing him in office means he's going to be in office. Me seeing his plane blowing up mean they're going to have attempts on his life, and they may try to use something mechanical, a car, whatever. And then me seeing them having attempts on his life, that's basically God showing me, if people don't pray and things don't go the right way, he could wind up dead and not in the White House, but he's meant to be in the White House. And I also seen him as a wizard up in the sky, twirling his gold stuff. So that's telling us Trump ain't, all, what do you call it, innocent. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be in the bloodline to be in the White House. And he was already in the White House once. So he's in the bloodline. Just don't forget that. Now, but what you need to understand is God can use anybody. And I'm not saying God is using Trump by no means. But I'm telling you, God can use anybody. He used Nebuchadnezzar. He used, what was that? Cyprus guy. Who else he used? It was another king in the Bible he used to do his bidding. I forget who it was. And then Saul truly wasn't of the Lord. Look what Saul did. Look at all the damage Saul did. He tried to kill David. He wasn't truly of the Lord. But Israel was asking for a king, and that's all God had at the moment, right? So God will use anybody. It doesn't matter how evil you are. God will use. Look at the king of Baal, the king of Babylon. He used him to let Jeremiah go free. And the other 70 elders and prophets of God, he let them go free, right? But God used him too. And he was one of the most wicked kings. No, look at what's his name? Nimrod. God even used Nimrod, right? So if God chooses, I'm not saying God's going to, but if God chooses to use TJD to help bring back, because God, okay, thank you, Father. He just reminded me to tell y'all this. The Lord told me that, okay, we will never be back at 100% how we was before 2020, but we will be back 50 to 60% after 2024. Like when 2025 come, we're going to start seeing things start to balance. There's still going to be all kinds of craziness, destruction, but we're going to start seeing things kind of balance in this nation and somewhat in other nations, like 50 to 60%. The Lord said we will never be back at 100%, excuse me, y'all, as to how we was before 2019. So getting back to TJD. If so, God chooses to use this man. As y'all know, I'm not a fan of Trump at all. Y'all know that. But see, I'm an honest person and I'm an honest prophet, and I don't let my emotions get in the middle of anything. So if the Lord chooses to use TJD to help bring back that 50 to 60%, to do whatever he needs to do, to give us another chance. Because remember, God said we had another chance. Then that's what he do. Who are we to say anything? Even if we don't like Trump, if God wants to use Trump, he could use him. Remember, God said Trump would never suffer any of his atrocities on this earth. Only in the afterlife has he suffered. He's still a billionaire. He mad because Forbes dropped him off of the. He's under 400. What is number? He's under 400. He's not in the top 400 billionaire status. He was mad. And he went against. He said, I'm still in the 400. They just trying to make y'all think I'm not. I said, this man is a trip, right? So, everything they doing to him has not hurt him. It made people love him even more, made him even richer, right? So if our Father decides to use him to bring back that 50 to 60%, no matter how much you hate his butt, or you shouldn't hate him or dislike him. So what? Get your emotions out the way. Let God do what he's going to do if he chooses him to do that. You know what I mean? If he chooses him to do that. Because I saw Donald Trump the other day. He was like, he didn't say if. He said when I get back. He didn't say if. He said when I get back. In the White House, he said, I'm going to flip everything over. He said, I'm going to deal with the board. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm like, whoa. He's so confident. And that's what they don't like about him. He's too confident. He's too cocky. And he don't care. Look, it seems like he don't care what comes out of his mouth. But he cares because he's too smart not to know what comes. See, y'all got to read between the lines with him. He's too smart. He's not a billionaire for nothing. In order to become a billionaire, you got to be smart, right? You got to watch your words carefully. You got to know what's coming out of your mouth. So he may make y'all think he crazy and he just pop off. Nah, he don't do that. The Lord said it. He knows what he doing. He knows what he's doing. He was like the number one businessman in this country at one point. He know what he's saying, he know what he's doing, but he wants y'all to think he crazy and he don't know what he's saying. That's a good strategy right there. That's a good strategy right there. Huh? I just wanted to thank you for praying with regards to my supervisor job. I've been using the prayers from your website. You're welcome, sweetie. God bless you. All right, so just pray for him, right? And if they can off him, they off his family one by one. You know, even if you don't like him, go to God. Be like, God, should I listen to Apostle and pray for TJD? And he tell you, yeah, you do it. You know what I mean? But you just pray, you know, that they don't kill him. You pray that he doesn't get sick with a disease. Because, you know, they don't always straight kill people. Somebody could stick a needle in him or feed him something and he don't even know it. And get a disease that could kill his brain. Cause him blindness, make him deaf, incapacitate him. That's the word I just heard God say. Pray against him being incapacitated. Because they don't just have to try and blow up a plane or get him in a car. You know, it could be people working inside with him. They could pay to get him. So God said, pray he don't get a disease that makes him incapacitated too, as well as them trying to off him. You know what I mean? And if you don't want to believe me to pray for him, then you go to God and confirm it. All right? And, you know, pray for his family. You know what I mean? Not all his family members are, you know, lizards and stuff. And we know they did something to Donald Trump too. But obviously it didn't work. Because he's bad. All right. So there's going to be fire and destruction in the USA and abroad. Fire is going to be breaking out here in the USA and abroad next year. It could start this year. But I'm going to say next year. We already seeing riots because of what's happening in Israel downtown. The what do you call it? The ambassadors thing for Israel. People was boycotting them. You know, there's a prophecy in my prophecy book that's on Barnes and Nobles where I told y'all that Israel was going to get into a war, and the American people was not going to want America to help them. Who has my prophecy book? If Pat was on here, I know she would remember. Who has my prophecy book, Past, Present, and Future? It's in there. I gave this prophecy years ago that a war was going to happen in Israel and American people was not going to want America to help. And if you read all the comments all over the internet, that's exactly what we're seeing. Who remembers that? Who has? I know a lot of y'all got that book. I just want to see who can remember it. All right, so pray about fires. You know, ask God to cover the area where you live, the state where you live, your family. And if there is fires, they won't last long. But we're going to see fires. And I believe some of the fires are going to come from the civil unrest. Because you know when there's civil unrest, I don't know why they want to tear up stuff. They don't think. You tear this up, we ain't got it to go back to no more. You know what I mean? And the Lord says stay out of these riots and stuff. The Lord said we're going to have a shortage of police in America. It hasn't come out yet, but it will, that we have a shortage of police. And the reason why we have a shortage of police is nobody remembers that prophecy in my prayer book. If Pat was here, she probably would. Biden building walls now. Oh, you want to know why Biden is building walls now at the border? Let's see. He's been in office since 2021. Democrats don't want to lose. So we're almost at the edge of 2023. And after November 1st, or November 2nd, or is it the 5th, election time is on from now to November. What do Democrats always do when they have almost 1 year left? They start doing all the promises that they promised you 3 years ago that they didn't do. And now all of a sudden they want to do. He's only doing that because he wants the Democrats to stay in office. Can't you get it? Can't you get it? But guess what? We have been awoken. We see right through the Democrats. That's why black folks are on the other side now. We see right through them. We woke up. We see they're a bunch of buffoons and liars. And they make promises they don't keep the first 3 years of their presidency. Then the last year, they want to couple everything in and get back in and do the same destruction. Every time Democrats get in, they tear up. When Republicans is in there, they clean up. Every time the Democrats get back in there, they tear up. And I ain't into politics, but I'm just telling you what I see. So don't fall for Biden's crap. Don't fall for it. I mean, building a wall is fine, but don't fall for it. Do not fall for it. So we are going to have a shortage of police, and the reason why is because people are in fear of their life now. The police have done so much damage, especially in the Black and Latino community, in killing people. A lot of people don't want to become police officers because they feel they're going to be targets and being overworked, right? So pray against us having a shortage of police, because we need police, the good ones. So we would just pray that God raise up some good police, Christian police, even if they're not Christians, but they got good morals. Bring up some Christian or good police and protect the good police. Protect the Christian police. All these police that are evil, then let them be exposed and bring them into repentance. If God can do that, because it has to be the will of man. You know what I mean? Hold on. Somebody just... You can start to get... Okay. So pray against that, right? And then the Lord says some nations will seek to change their country's nation names. Some countries, I saw a few, not a lot, that's going to seek to change the name of their country in 2024. There's going to be some kind of war in India in 2024, because I told y'all this last year. For this year and next year, we're going to see nations upon nations, and that's what we're seeing. So India, there's going to be some internal war in India next year. Oh, y'all do? Wow. Okay. So there's going to be an internal war in India and in Arab lands. Internal war in India and in Arab lands. We may start seeing it this year, but definitely next year. The Lord said power will change in India government. China, much terrible things will happen in China in 2024. It is God's judgment. So power will change in India's government. China will have much terrible things that will happen to them in 2024. And it is God's judgment. And things are coming to Japan too, but I told y'all about Japan already. Earthquakes will come in the sets of 2, 3s, and 4. Like we saw triple earthquakes, because I told you I saw 2 big earthquakes, but it was 3. We're going to be seeing that 2, 3, or 4 earthquakes at the same time. Could start now, but definitely start next year. We're going to be seeing tsunamis next year, the Lord said, in some places abroad and in the USA, because of uprising. No, I don't think we're going to see any tsunamis here, but I blended it in. But we could, but more so abroad. But the Lord said the USA, because of uprising, new healing technology. Okay. Oh, okay. There's going to be some uprising abroad and in the USA. I told y'all that already. But because of this new technology that's coming, there's going to be new technology that's coming. Let's say you don't have no legs, right? And some people wear those prosthetic legs, right? But these new legs that people are going to be getting, they're going to be almost like real. And new arms are going to be almost like real. And new hands going to be almost like real. This technology, he didn't tell me it's coming in 2024. He just told me to tell y'all that this new technology is coming, where you can have prosthetics that look real, not like metal, for your hand, your arm, and your legs. The Lord also said advanced technology is coming that's going to help an insane man be sane. So all these people walking around here crazy are in the mental institution and they got money. It's going to be technology that's going to make a sane man, an insane man, a sane man. And if you have the money for these new human prosthetics that they're going to be coming out with, because they're going to be expensive, you'll be able to get them. And it's going to be some type of new AI technology that's going to be able to heal people from different type of elements. And the enemy is making this technology to make God look bad, to make God look like he don't care. Because there's people for years been praying for healing, to get out of a wheelchair, to grow back hands, to grow back legs, for this and that. And God has not healed them for his own reasons and purposes, right? So it's going to make God look like he don't care about us. And it's going to make God look like he don't want to heal us. Doesn't the Bible say they were going to marvel at the beast? Have you ever wondered why they're going to marvel at the beast? Because of all of the technology he going to be doing. Remember years ago, it might be in my prophecy book, I told you they were going to start making synthetic wombs and growing babies in the wombs in the lab. They've been doing that now for like 3 years. That prophecy been came to pass. But they're going to start doing it more. Remember I told you in my book, they're going to have designer babies where you can decide the eye color and stuff. That's happening already. So it's prophecy coming to pass. I prophesied about the electric cars. They're here. I saw flying cars. Those are next. I told you their plans for the electric car ain't going to work. They're talking about 2030. We all going to be electric. Maybe half, but not all. Right? There's going to be a new breakthrough for the internet that's going to be coming out either in 2024 or 2025, the Lord said. There's going to be some new type of optical AI internet that's coming that's going to make the internet so much better. But also they're building new layers to stop hackers and to curtail them. So this new internet breakthrough that's going to be coming in 2024, 2025 is 50% of it is geared to stop the hackers. Because they just hacking the crap out of stuff. It's not to say it won't stop them completely, but it'll curtail them about 75% with this new internet breakthrough that we're going to see between 2024 and 2025. Matter of fact, Daddy said they already have it. But like a lot of technology that's coming out now, they've had 5-10 years ago. So technology coming out next year and a year after that, they had 5-10 years ago. They just have set times they let it out, right? AI will rise faster than you can think in 2024. It's rising already, but next year, guys, AI is going to take off. Any stocks in AI, any cryptos in AI, anything to do with AI business, AI teaching, AI this, AI that. It's going to rise, and it's going to make people a ton of money. A ton of money. But I'm staying away from the AI. I told Daddy, I said, I ain't going nowhere near that stuff unless they make it where you have to. I saw on Instagram, there was an AI robot preaching in the church. I put it on Facebook so people could see. I said, look, y'all, prophecy kind of passed. Daddy said they're going to be in the church preaching, but a lot of the preachers was going to fight against it. Doggone 7-foot white robot in the church preaching with the pastor's voice. What? Pastor too doggone lazy to come preach. What? Are you serious? Anybody that have a robot in their church preaching, may God deal with you. May God deal with you. Go put your voice in it. May God deal with you. But me personally, I'm staying away from AI. I am. This is pastor. His name is Tony Timms. He's very famous. He's charging $500 to $700 for Christians to learn how to use AI to integrate in their churches to bring more people and bring. He already a millionaire and he charging $500 to $700. Y'all know him, Tony Timms. He's very famous prophet. $500 to $700 to teach people how to integrate AI. I said, I ain't doing that. I said, Daddy, I will not go near AI unless they make it where you don't have no choice. Like my website that this guy's building. All the website now, they're integrating AI. And I was like, Daddy, I need a website. What I'm going to do? He said, What did you say? He's he said if that's how it has to be, that's how it has to be. But it will have nothing to do with you and no connection to you. Now, if you go to these AI sites to help you build an app, or you use them to get branding, you have to fill out an account. They get your information. If you go to AI to help you write a book, they get your information. And Daddy was telling me how they computerized generate who you are. Like when you on these AI things, you can't see it, but they're doing something to you. They're reading you, they're getting stuff off of you. And Daddy said a lot of people are going to be cloned in the future. Normal people. I said, another reason why they're doing AI the way they're doing it. They're getting all these people DNA. You sending your DNA to, what do you call that place to help you find ancestors? You think they get rid of that? Think again. All of y'all stuff messing with that AI. Eventually, a lot of people are going to be cloned. Normal people. And they're going to take you out and put your clone in your stead. Mark my words. You better pray ain't none of us here. You better pray we old and time to go. Be very careful with AI, y'all. I ain't using it unless it comes to the point where I have no choice. And like it's in my website, but I won't have to interact with it. It's just how the website is being built. You know, that's what the guy is choosing to use. You know what I mean? And I can't tell him what not to use. Everywhere I went, everybody incorporated AI. Everywhere I went, that's why it took me so long to get it done. And he sent me it yesterday so I could approve certain things. And he's working on it to be finished in a week. You know, because everybody integrated AI. So I ain't had no choice but to pick somebody. You know. I gave y'all this word 2 years ago that the Lord said aliens were going to start snatching people. The Lord said people are going to start vanishing off the face of the planet. And it will be seen. People going to think it's the rapture. Nah, it's aliens. They're going to be taking certain people. And these people that they're taking, they have rights to take them. Like a person could be just sitting in the park on a bench. Boom, gone. Or in a restaurant. Boom, gone. And a lot of people going to think it's the rapture coming, but it's not. It's a movie. The Lord told me the name, I forgot, but it's a movie. Google and see. Google say, put in Google or in YouTube the movie about aliens making people vanish off the earth. We going to see that starting next year. Maybe this year, before this year is out. I don't know. All right. And a lot of people are going to think it's a hoax. They're going to think it's not true, but it's true. And it's not going to be rapture. It's going to be the aliens doing it. And they're going to have rights to do it. The Lord said lots of disasters are coming. Widespread destruction and death in 2024. Then I tell you 2024 was going to be worse than the last 3-4 years. And then boom, when we hit 2025, 2026, it'll level off about 56%. So, you need to be praying over the land you live in, the state you live in, country you live in. You need to be praying over your family, where they live. Ask God to, you know how the Israelites put blood around their door so the spirit of death passed them by? You just cover your door with the blood shield of Jesus and the special anointing oil of the spiritual realm and Yeshua's name, and put it on your kids' doors, front, back, whatever, under the ground, house, everything like that. Ask the angels to put shield around you. You know what I mean? So when these things happen, because let me tell you something. Destruction is a spirit. Even earthquakes are a spirit. Everything's a living mechanism. So you can pray in the name of Yeshua Jesus. Father, I thank you for protecting my home, my family's home, my children's home, putting the blood on the doors, the back doors, the angels around the house, blood under the house, on top of the house, you know, wherever the blood needs to be, in that special spiritual anointing oil. And you are over all these spirits, the spirit of disaster, the spirit of destruction, the spirit of earthquakes, the spirit of floods, the spirit of tsunamis, the spirit of this, the spirit of that. And they must adhere to you. So I know you have already told them to pass us by, our entire area. So see, I taught you this before. Your neighbors, my neighbors who live around me, they could be a bunch of heathens. But guess what? Because you live in, the area won't be touched. You could be the only one in the entire area of people, and it could be huge. That's truly the Lord. And because of you, none of them will get in trouble. Because of you. Because if they get hit, you'll be affected. So therefore, God, like the tornado that came earlier this year, and the Lord told me to look out the window. He said, you're not going to see the angels, but you're going to see the tornado. He said, watch what I do. Boom, sucker was gone. Why? Because I prayed. And it was in the back of these 4 houses across the street from me. They would have got lit up. Probably have died. But because of me, Pat didn't come to her area. Because she prayed over her area. And I came in agreement with her over her area. And it was supposed to do massive destruction in this area. And then go to her. Not so. All it takes is one bright light. The Bible says all it takes is one child to save a nation. This is a nation. Where you live is a nation of different people. So because of you, a whole nation of people can be saved. No, I didn't see that. People are disappearing already. Yeah, body snatching movie. I told y'all about that. I told y'all they were going to be body snatching people. Y'all better be careful. I don't care if you're a witch, a warlock, a Christian, and you ain't living right. You susceptible. And if you definitely are the devil, you susceptible. So some of y'all need to rethink and come to God. He's the only savior. He's the only protection. Because the devil ain't going to protect you. The devil will only protect you to a certain extent. And after that, boom, you trash. He'll throw you away or eat you. Or let somebody else eat you. Really. Devil don't play fair. He don't like himself. If he don't like himself, what makes you think he gonna like you? He don't even like his own self. Yeah. There's going to be an earthquake in the Pacific, around the Pacific. Where in the Pacific? I don't know. All I saw was the Pacific. Could be this year or next year. Earthquake in the Pacific. Right? And the rise of technology surveillance will begin in 2024. We already don't have no privacy. We go outside. They watching you everywhere. And when you in your house, remember I told you I saw drones. How many of y'all remember that vision I had in 2018? I saw drones. They hadn't even come yet. I saw drones outside my window. Was able to look in my window. Now we got drones everywhere. I saw drones. I didn't hear any other prophet that God told that to but me. But he could have. And it's in my book. And the drones are here. And then I told you I saw military drones. Boom. They're here. I used to have a drone, but I gave it to my son. Because I didn't know how to use it. So they're going to be surveilling us even more than before. Okay. And then I'm almost finished. I already told you how they will be able to replace body parts and integrate it with technology. Now, in the book of Daniel, it says they're going to try and mix iron with clay. And God said, not so, right? So they're going to try and mix their iron with people's clay. It's going to be called automination. Automination. Or what is it? Automination or automination. Integrated technology. It could start happening next year. I don't know, but it's coming soon. God said many people will make the mistake to depend on AI starting next year. To me, it's already started. He said, pray against this. People depending on AI. That's what he said. Okay, so that's part 2. And I'm finished. Hold on. Excuse me. Oh boy, people. Oh, I can't prophesy to people today, y'all. Hold on, because I gotta go. Yeah. I didn't even know people was giving me Cashapp because I put my phone on silent so it wouldn't disturb me as I'm talking to y'all. Okay. Well, I had already gave her a word. I gave her one. Okay. And okay. So I have to catch y'all when I come back next time. Who is this? Her name is I gave her word. All of y'all, except for, did I give Susan a word? Oh, well, Susan, I could tell you, and then I gotta go. Susan, I see you shopping, I see you shopping in different places, buying things that you have been waiting on a long time to buy. I also see a lot of happiness coming to you. I also see a bag of rice around you. Okay, when you see rice around a person, a bag of rice, that's prosperity, goodness and mercy and deliverance. So that's coming to you. And that's for Susan, SKOV. All right. So I have to go. But God bless everybody who sowed the seed while we was on here. And may you receive your miracle blessing in the next 7 to 10 days. And may you have a great, great testimony. What? Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Huh? Wait. Oh. Okay. Pray for Miss Paula. She said her car was stolen today. Pray for Miss Paula. We pray in the name of Yeshua Jesus, whoever stole her car, they will have no goodness in life until they return that car. And that she get her car back, or God give her a new car in Yeshua Jesus' name. So just agree with me for Miss Paula. Okay. All right, guys. So I have to go now. Sorry, I gotta go now. All right. So I will. Hey, Brother Mario, how you doing? Brother Mario, the Lord had gave me a word for you. He told me you was gonna come on here too. Um, he said that you remember the word I gave you the last time. He told me to remind you of that, Brother Mario. And he showed me you was going through hard times, and that you was maybe possibly retrograding back to some of your old ways, Mario. And he was telling me to tell you, don't do that. Do not retrograde back to some of your old ways, because it will hinder you much. He said, keep the faith and stay strong in him, and things will work out for you. And he said, remember the prophecy I texted you a while ago. He said, what I told you in that prophecy is the issues that you have to work on far as when you get employed again. Okay, Brother Mario. All right, so I got to go. So I'll see y'all soon. All right, and love everybody. I'm gonna be on my coaching before the week is out. I put a word on there, and I put the link in my community tab on here. So go listen to that word for today as well. All right, so I'll see you on the coaching when I come on next. All right, God bless y'all. Love you. Shalom.